Hello, and welcome back to Frugal Gamer. Today I wanted to touch up on something that I've sort of touched up on, but I wanted to touch up on free entertainment ideas, but these ones are not necessarily free. You do have to pay a little bit, but once you buy it, you end up saving a lot of money. These are not electronic. You can pretty much buy majority of the stuff, if not all of it, on Amazon. But alright, let's get started. Number one is going to be darts. Now, me personally, I actually bought a dartboard with some darts. I want to say about a month ago. And when I did that, not only did my husband start to play it instead of watching shows, but so did my father-in-law. And I actually did it a little bit too. Now, mind you, I didn't play darts beforehand. I had never played or even tried to play. So I didn't really have that skill yet, so I'm still trying to improve that skill. But darts is one of those things where you can get multiple games out of it just by simply having the equipment. Now, with darts, yes, you do have to replace the darts every once in a while, but I mean, I would much rather replace those darts than to spend more on my electricity bill than what those darts or even that dartboard would cost. You can find this on Amazon. That's what I did. I found it for, I want to say, $30, including shipping. Something like that. It may have been more like 40, but either way, you're still getting a board with some darts, and then you get multiple games out of that. For example, cricket, or I forget the other one that we play here, but yeah, you get a couple games out of it. The second one that I wanted to touch up on was pool. Now, pool is basically just requires a billiards table with some pool sticks and the actual pool balls with the little triangle that you set to condense all the balls in one spot when you start the game. But that's another free entertainment idea. When you have pool, you are, once again, just like with the darts, you are less likely to watch shows. You are less likely to watch television at all. You are more likely to just go ahead and start playing pool. With this, you can probably find it on Amazon. I personally haven't looked it up, but I'm sure you can find it on Amazon. I know a couple places around me actually sell billiards tables, but they're smaller, they're mini ones, and there's a lot of people around here that really like to play pool. But with that, you would only have to replace the balls that get lost, or if a stick breaks or something. So there's a lot more to replace with pool, but at the same time, it may just save you a lot more money just because of how the game goes. Number 3. You could also be buying some dice. Now, that may not seem like much, but dice can actually have a plethora of games. For example, Liar's Dice is one that I prefer. Liar's Dice is where you, as well as every other party playing the game, you guys all grab 5 dice. Yeah, 5 dice. You grab 5 dice, you put it in a cup, you shake it, and then you plant it right on the table or the ground or whatever you're playing with, or on, I should say. And then what you guys do is you guys go around clockwise or counterclockwise, whichever way you guys prefer. What you do is you say, for example, 1, 2, meaning that you're guessing that there is 1 2-dotted dice. Face up, at least. And then the next person goes, and then the next person goes, and it keeps going in a circle until somebody either says, spot on, or they say, you're bullshitting. They call your bluff. And when you say spot on, that means that you think the last person that guessed the amount of whatever is spot on. Like, he hit the nail right on the head. And so that's when you guys, you guys know what it is to call somebody's bluff. But after that, you take off the cups, you look at how many there are for the last guess, and say somebody guessed 5 threes. You'll count up how many 3s are face up on the die of all of the parties. Excuse me. And then what you'll do is, if the person that guessed was wrong and you called their bluff, they have to remove 1. But if you say spot on and they were right, they have to remove a die. Or if you say spot on and they were wrong, you guys both lose a die. So that's how Liar's Dice works. But there are plenty of other dice games that you can play. But number 4 is going to be cornhole. Now, some of you might not know what cornhole is. That's okay. When I first heard of it, I had no idea what it was. And to be honest, I didn't hear about it when I was in California. So, cornhole is basically a game where you have these boards that have holes in them. It's either 2 or 3 holes. I can't remember which one. But, and then you have these little tiny bean bags. Well, not necessarily tiny, but you have your bean bags, and then what you try to do is you are a certain amount of distance away from the actual slanted board that's being held up by another little piece of wood. And what you do is you try to make it into the holes. Depending on which hole you made it in is depending on how many points you got for it. And then you play against one other person. I think it's one other person. And then they do the same thing, and at the end of the game you rack up your points, see who won, and then you can continue to try again. I know this is something that my household loves, but like I said before, I am not too much of a fan. I only just heard about it, I want to say, 2 years ago, and I've never played it, so it's just one idea. And then number 5 is actually going to be Horseshoes. Horseshoes is one of those games that's pretty difficult if you've never played before, but Horseshoes is when you have a little, I don't even know what you would call it, but you have kind of like a little cubby hole, but it doesn't have any cover over the top of it, and then there's a metal pole in the middle of it, and what you do is you get your horseshoes, and you try to throw it at the metal pole, and you try to get the horseshoes around the pole. Now, last time I played, I sucked, but it is one of those games that can take up a lot of time, and therefore you are saving energy. You are saving a lot on energy just by playing horseshoes. And sometimes, some places even have horseshoes already in the backyard of some homes. Like, I know there's somebody in my family that has it like that, but I cannot remember who it is. But those were the 5 ways that you can get free entertainment by buying something ahead of time. Now, I just wanted to let you guys know, I've been thinking about making a financial efficiency blog. Basically the same thing that I'm doing on here, but it's more focused on saving money and the ways that you can do that. But I do have an ebook that I'm writing. It's going to be coming out pretty soon. It's going to be called Simple Savers, so look out for that. As soon as it's ready to be downloaded and all that, and bought, I'll put it in the description below. It's only going to be a couple bucks, so go ahead and buy that. Go ahead and buy that, and then you'll see not just a list of ways to save money, but I go into greater detail about why you save money and the different aspects that you save money with. Some of the stuff I did already touch up on here, but like I said, it's going to be in greater detail, so I'm putting like the math out there and everything. So look out for that, and I hope you guys like this video. Leave a comment down below, give me some feedback, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.